State your name and grade, please.
I'm Vikram Shivakumar, and I'm a junior.
So Vikram, how did you react when you first heard of the floods in Chennai?
Well, obviously I was pretty sad because I knew a lot of people who live there, so I was just worried about them, worried like how they're doing and everything. We tried to contact them, but there's no power. But honestly, I wasn't really surprised because of the infrastructure of the city. Since it's an urban environment, I expected this to happen sometime or another. So
How is you said you know people there. How is your family? Do you have any interesting stories to tell about them?
well, my dad was there for about 2 weeks, and he just came back yesterday, and his flight got delayed for a few days. And he's fine because he lives in a high area, so there wasn't as much flooding. But my cousin lives in one of the lower areas of the city, so he had flooding up to his chin level, which is about 5 feet. And so and they live on the first floor, so it completely wiped out their home. But they could get most of their stuff out, so right now they're living with another relative of ours. But everybody's fine, and that's all that matters.
I heard that transport was an issue. Were there any innovative or interesting ways you got around? Your dad got around?
Well, my dad just tried to stay home, but my grandpa, he took a hand-built raft that he and a few of his friends made. So they built a raft, and then they'd take that down the streets to the nearby temple, and they'd do volunteering there. And yeah, and he took a picture of that, and it was really cool to see how people were building rafts just to help the relief efforts.
So there was a lot of collaboration among people.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
help each other.
The volunteering that was going on in Chennai was crazy. There was just people who were just rafting every day to just check how people are doing. And on Facebook, the social media response was insane. People would post numbers that they can call, that other people can call if they wanted to see how their relatives are doing. And people would just take rafts around the city and check on those people and then call back. So we did that for a few of our relatives. We had some random stranger who just offered to go to our relative's house, check on them, see if they have food and electricity and water. And they called back and they said they're fine. So it's just crazy social media response. So.
It's great to hear. In one sentence, can you describe what this flooding means to you, kind of impact it's had on you?
Well, I think that it really brought together the city of Chennai, and it really shows how social media and how different things can come together for a common good in a disaster such as a flood. So that's really what I saw in the news coverage, and in talking to my relatives in Chennai. That's really what I thought was the most important out of this disaster.